Hello. I promise I'm eventually going to do something besides tier lists, but I was in the middle of my stream a bit ago, and I was like, you know what? I want to do a tier list of these just because I have thoughts. I have thoughts that I really didn't have an opportunity to share. So why don't we jump right in? I'm going to do everything. Speedways are included, bosses are included. Yes. So let's just jump in. So we're going to start with Glimmer. So I think Glimmer is a pretty nice intro level. It's not really anything too stellar, but it's really pretty to look at. And I actually heard a rumor not too long ago that Glimmer was supposed to be the fourth hub world, along with Summer Forest, Autumn Plains, Winter Tundra. You know, Glimmer's kind of the level you get dropped off in, and it's kind of where you learn the basics of how Spyro 2 is going to work. Which I feel like it's kind of weird that they start you off like in a level and not in the hub world. It's a nice twist, I guess. Um, the challenges are nothing special. There's two flying around lighting the gem lamps, and then there's one where you gotta chase down the moles and shoot them. And there's a bit of the backtracking because you gotta climb to get one of the orbs, which you can't do until you make it to Autumn Plains. So it kind of loses some points for that. But overall, I think Glimmer's really pretty. I think Glimmer's really nice. It's gonna be a solid B tier. Summer Forest. Now, I like Summer Forest. It's not my favorite of the hub worlds, but it's up there. It is very pretty to look at. It's very big, it's very expansive. There's a lot of secrets. I feel like Summer Forest is the perfect way to kind of ease you in, to really kind of show you what all this game has to offer. Because there's little swimming sections, there's a climbing section, there's a whole bunch of secrets everywhere. Hunter teaches you how to glide and stuff. The orbs are pretty tricky to find. Well, the one is there's a pretty tricky glide to get there, and you have to have the doors set up in the right way. You're probably not going to get everything the first time around, and that's fine. Summer Forest is a level that requires a lot of exploration. I like it a lot. I'm going to put it in like a high B tier, though. Now, Colossus is very fun. I always feel great coming to Colossus because I love the hockey mini game. I love the aesthetics. I love the chanting the guys do. It is great every single time. I don't like it as much in the remake because it kind of sucks out all the personality, but we're just looking at the original Spyro too. We're not looking at the remake. So this one is chock full of personality. The enemies are all so much fun. The little monk dudes are great. I love the hockey game. I would put Colossus at an A. Idle Springs is fucking boring. It is one of the least interesting levels to look at. The enemies are dull. The challenges are dull. It's what, just green and brown? There is barely anything interesting going on in Idle Springs. There's a whole bunch of water, but you can't swim anywhere. There's a whole bunch of tricky glides, but it's pretty linear. Every single one of the NPCs is a fucking idiot. I don't really have anything good to say about Idle Springs. It is probably the worst level in this entire game, like objectively. There's one that I personally like less, but objectively, Idle Springs is the worst. Hurricos, I feel, is mediocrity incarnate. There's it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but like it's nice enough, I guess. The electrals are okay. I really, really, really hate that one orb mission where you gotta put all the power crystals in the right places and then wait for the trolls to come and steal them, so you gotta flame them. Like, that is one of my personal least favorite orb challenges in the entire game. I just cannot stand it. And there's not a whole lot else about Hurricos that really redeems it, in my personal opinion. I don't know. I would put it at a solid D tier. It's not the worst this game has to offer. It's not. Sunny Beach is fun. Sunny Beach is not a level that I could really come up with too much bad to say about. I mean, sorry. I feel like the biggest issue with Sunny Beach is that it is basically just one large escort mission, but it's a fun escort mission because you're escorting babies, and you do that by harassing turtles until they open some gates, and then you go and kill dudes. I feel like that's most levels. I don't know. It's nothing too special. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but it's fun. The orb challenge where you have to. Uh, sorry, I'm really tired. The orb challenge where you have to prevent the turtles from getting into the pot is a lot of fun. It can be kind of frustrating, but I personally like it. I think it's a lot of fun. Now, I wouldn't put Sunny Beach at like an S tier or anything, but it's a solid low A tier because it is just a, it's a good time. I always look forward to Sunny Beach in my runs. Aquaria Towers is very mediocre. I don't really feel positively or negatively about it in any way at all. Um, it's just a good old fashioned water level. Uh, the orb challenges are mediocre. The one and only thing that I appreciate about this level, like really appreciate, is that if you come in here with the permanent Super Flame power up from a previous file, you can basically tell Moneybags to go fuck himself and just go swimming yourself. But if you don't, then you gotta pay Moneybags, and that sucks. So I'm gonna rank all of the speedways together because they're basically the same thing. None of them really stand out to me. They're all C tier. I would probably rank them in this order if I had to, though, because Metro Speedway is probably my least favorite. Mostly just because I really hate the Hunter Challenge. It is awful. I don't like this one either, but it's fine. Actually, I'll put Icy Speedway above Ocean Speedway because um, I have a lot more fun in Icy Speedway than Ocean Speedway. These two are more or less interchangeable, but I prefer Icy Speedway because the items are a bit more fun to find. So I guess we're getting into our first boss fight now, Crush. Crush isn't really anything all that special. You just are in a big enclosed room, and he's got these 7 little power spots that if he stands on them, he gets to attack you with, I don't know, either a shockwave or some fireballs. And once he's done attacking you with those, he just runs to a different power spot, and you get to flame him. It's nothing too special, it's nothing too groundbreaking. It doesn't even break the ground when he slams his club into it, you know? It's it's alright, it's fine. I'd put it like above the speedways. Okay, Autumn Plains is gorgeous. I love Autumn Plains. Like when I get to Autumn Plains, I will just sit there and stare at it for a few minutes because I love the way it looks. I love how huge it is. I love how sprawling it is. I love how many secrets there are. I love being able to climb all the way up to the top of the castle. I love that massive glide you can take to get to that secret island with the orb, and then, you know, running along the walls of the castle. It's truly just epic. It is my favorite homeworld out of all of the games, and it is S tier, easily. Now, Scaleless Badlands is a ton of fun. I love the whole fire aesthetic. I love the cavemen. The enemies are very original. I actually just got done playing through Scaleless Badlands a bit ago, and I got absolutely fucked up. Like, they came for my life. The enemies managed to snipe me quite a few times. I didn't lose a single life, but they got rid of sparks on more than one occasion. So for that, I gotta give them props. Now, collecting the bones is alright, but what comes after collecting the bones is just magical. Now, in the remakes, the skeleton just flosses, which would be F tier for me because seriously, fuck that. But in the original, he does this incredible dance set to some funky ass music, and like if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Because the original skeleton dance is just iconic. I enjoy everything Scaleless Badlands has to offer. It is an easy A tier. Oh, you know what? No, I'm bumping it down to B tier because of that fucking dinosaur mission. Because seriously, that is a pain in my ass every single time. I cannot stand doing it. I hate it, and it is not fun. Crystal Glacier is okay. Um, I fucking hate the Draclets. They are the biggest pain in the ass. No, actually, you know what? I think I would have to put Crystal Glacier down to D tier because I was just in Crystal Glacier not too long ago, and I actually encountered. Well, the first time I played through it in the Reignited trilogy, I encountered a soft lock with the dog mission or the cat, whatever it is, where the fish simply would not jump out of the water. And so I had to exit and redo the whole level, which was kind of a pain. I really did not enjoy that for a mission that's not even that fun. And the Draclets is fucking atrocious. I hate every second of the Draclets mission. And I hate the fact that they respawn if you miss even one. You basically have to redo the whole thing. It sucks ass and I hate it. So D tier goes. Am I being unfair? Probably. Okay. Zephyr and Breeze Harbor. I want to talk about these two together because, they're so obviously intertwined. So let me get this out of the way first. I am 100% Team Breeze Builders. Hell yeah. Fuck Zephyr. So I feel like this is more of a personal thing, but between Breeze Harbor and Zephyr, Breeze Harbor is infinitely more fun, infinitely more exciting, and infinitely more memorable. In Zephyr, it's just a bland green brown hellscape. It's not that exciting to go through. The enemies are a pain in my ass and they can just snipe you out of nowhere. See, the birds are enemies that I would honestly rather be on the side of than be against because I hate going against them and I hate their cheap ass attacks. Like, I was trying to do the Cowlicks mission, which I'll talk about in a sec, just a bit ago, and one of the birds completely fucking sniped me from like at the top of a tower when I was down at the very lowest part of the entire level, the area where Little Bo Peep's cowlicks are. One of the birds legitimately, I couldn't even see it. It flew down there and it sniped my ass, and I did not appreciate that. So fuck that to hell. And the missions aren't that fun. Rounding up the cowlicks is a slog. They're slow, it's painful, getting them to go the way you want them to is a drag. There's no guarantee that they'll actually get in the pen, and you can flame them out of the pen if you really feel like it. But why would you do that to yourself? I don't fucking know. Now, look at Breeze Harbor on the other hand. It's so much more satisfying to take down the slugs, I gotta say, because they're a lot more fun enemies, there's a lot more creativity in them. Um, Reigniting the fires to get their machinery working is a very exciting motif for the level. I kind of love The metalworks aspects of it, blowing up the mines is great. And of course, who could forget? Trouble with the trolley, eh? Just one of the most iconic missions in all of Spyro. It is a great time. Breeze Harbor is absolutely goated, whereas Zephyr, eh. I know that some people are kind of on the fence about the conflict between Breeze Harbor and Zephyr and kind of just want peace between the warring nations, but like, no, I'm definitely siding with the Breeze Builders any day. They're great. I am a friend of the Breeze Builders. Scorch. Scorch is just very charming. These two kids here are also like spies or like action heroes or some shit. I think it's very great playing alongside them. I love the whole like the whole aesthetic of it. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I don't really like Arabian? Is that it? The whole Arabian aesthetic with like the camels and the hunter dudes. Uh Hot take? I actually really enjoy Bombo. I don't know how people feel about the bomb dude that you have to chase down. I feel like he's probably in bad taste, considering like what happened after the game came out, but like I don't mind it. I don't mind the mission at all. He's kind of fun. And like obviously leading these two kids through like basically an action movie is pretty fun. I enjoy Scorch. Scorch is always a fun one to come back to. It's getting a low A tier because that one hunter mission is kind of a pain, but I don't mind it all that much. Okay, Fracture Hills is one that I'm very conflicted about because on the one hand, I enjoy the aesthetics, I enjoy the fawns. Obviously, music is something that is very important to me, so releasing the fawns and breaking down the castle with the power of music is something that I am completely on board with. But at the same time, the alchemist is here, and the alchemist kind of drags the whole thing down because that is pain. Just the alchemist is just pain, pain incarnate. I hate it. Everyone hates the alchemist. All my homies hate the alchemist. I don't really know what to say about that. It's pretty bad. Um, I don't know where to put Fracture Hills, honestly. I kind of want to put it in a B tier, because, like, there's a lot good about Fracture Hills, but the bad is really, really, like, offensively bad. Not offensive in, like, the way you might think, but, like, really over the top bad. I mentioned this earlier in my stream, but Magma Cone was my white whale when I was a kid. I could not figure out for the life of me how to complete it, and it ruined me for so long because I couldn't complete the game because I couldn't figure out how to get to the top of the volcano. I don't know what it was. There was just something that I was not comprehending as a kid. But nowadays I like it. I like it a lot. The enemies are pretty great. I love the creativity of having to knock the big dudes back into some power equipment that the NPCs use to kill them instead of having to figure it out yourself. Um, because I like the idea of there being some enemies that are just too big to deal with yourself. You know, I really like it. I like going inside the one volcano into a random, like, ice area where you have to catch, like, these frozen popcorn things. It's kind of out of nowhere and kind of clashes with the rest of the level, but I feel like it does it in a pretty tasteful manner. I don't know, that's just me though. I like it. I enjoy flying around inside the volcano. I really enjoy the whole aesthetic of the level, and like now that I get it, it is always a fun level to come back to, in my opinion. Shady Oasis gets a meh for me for basically all the same reasons as Aquaria Towers did, except I like the aesthetic. No, I like the aesthetics of Aquaria Towers a bit better. It's just meh for me. I don't really enjoy going through the whole thing. I don't really enjoy um everything that you do in that level. Really, it's not very fun. The orb challenges, I honestly can't even remember all of them off the top of my head. There's the one where you head bash the rocks or whatever. Um, Honestly, Shady Oasis is one of the levels that I just don't remember all that much of. It doesn't last in the memory after you leave it. Like you go in there, you know what you're doing, you leave, and it just it's gone. And Shady Oasis is probably the one I have the least to say about. Now, Gulp is a lot more fun of a boss fight than Crush. So I'm going to start by putting you right here. Yeah. So unlike Crush, who doesn't really do much, Gulp is actively a threat. Dude comes strapped with some rocket launchers, and he can also eat the same weapons that you're trying to kill him with. He can launch rockets at you, he can spit fire, he can launch bombs at you. Dude's got missiles. If I'm remembering correctly, he can even kill your chicken power. Like he can even kill your health recovery things and claim them for himself, which is kind of jank. But also, I'm kind of here for it. I feel like that should actually be a viable option, which is kind of stupid. But at the same time, like I could see it. I could see an argument for that. Gulp is a pretty good boss. I like him. I like him a lot. Oh no, Winter Tundra. Winter Tundra is just pretty to look at. I'm putting it above Summer Forest because it's not my favorite. No, I'm putting it below Summer Forest. I'm sorry. It's probably the weakest of the three. I like it a lot though. Like being the weakest of Summer Forest, Autumn Plains, and Winter Tundra isn't saying all that much because they're all great to look at. Winter Tundra just kind of gets the short end of the stick for being, well, short. There's not a lot to do. There's not a lot of exploration. I guess there's that one underground area which leads to the speedway, but like besides that, what is there really to Winter Tundra? It kind of just mm, there's not a whole lot to do there. And before I continue, I'm bumping Shady Oasis down to D because it is just forgettable. Okay, I feel like some of you are going to be really mad at me for this one. I don't like Mystic Marsh at all. I it's I mean I appreciate what it's going for because it's probably the most open of all the levels. I just hate it. I hate the enemies. I hate how complex everything is. I hate how difficult everything is to find. The orb challenges kind of suck. Chasing after the things to get the spark plugs is just awful. Um, the only reason it's at the top of the F tier is because the professor one is kind of interesting. I guess it's something. I don't like the aesthetics. It's kind of ugly. The NPCs are kind of they just rub me the wrong way. I don't like them as people. The whole conflict is that this dude falls asleep, which honestly, I feel that, but at the same time, no. The enemies are all pains in the asses. Getting to the end of the level is a pain in the ass. Finding anything is a pain in the ass. This level is just pain. I don't like it, like at all. I'm sorry. I know there's probably going to be some people mad at me if anyone even watches this, but I don't like it. Cloud temples. I enjoy cloud temples a lot. I wish I could remember more about it because I know that I like it, but I'm honestly kind of forgetting like everything that there is to cloud temple. No, no, never mind. Never mind. I remembered it all. Cloud temples is the only level in the entire trilogy. I'm not counting the games that came after because those games are not valid. It's the only game in the entire trilogy with the ice breath power up, which honestly is kind of sick. And you use it to freeze these little ice gremlins and climb a tower to ring some bells, which is kind of creative. And then there's the secret agent mission where you follow the secret agent dude, you kind of stalk him to his hideout. And it sounds simple in theory, but it is far from simple. It is very complicated. And it's very easy for him to catch you. And overall, it's just a lot of fun. I love the magic aesthetic. I love all like a lot that the level was going for. I feel like it succeeds with flying colors. Robotica Farms is bland. There's just nothing interesting at all. The bug bots are boring, the robot dudes are boring, the challenges are boring. It's not like actively awful like the F tier missions, but like it's just boring. Boring and unmemorable and not very fun. I hate the supercharge mission in particular. It is not great. Um were there even any other missions besides the supercharge one? I don't know if there was. And I don't feel like looking it up because I'm busy recording. So, oh, there's the Flaming the Crows one, which honestly is kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, D tier it is. I like Metropolis. The robots are a lot more charming than, well, these fuckers. I like flaming the ox. Well, okay, flaming the bombs to kill the ox thing is fun. Flying around with the combination Superfly, Super Flame is pretty fun to shoot down all the UFOs. There's a bit of backtracking, but honestly, it doesn't feel that egregious. I don't know. It's pretty simplistic for what is actually the last level, because you would think that they would really throw shit at you, but honestly, they kind of don't, and I appreciate that. It's pretty simple, but there's a lot to do if you know what you're looking for. I like the skating. I like flaming the ships. Yeah, overall, it's just a good time. It's a good old level. Ripto is a fucking great boss. Like, if you're looking for a quality final boss, Ripto. I love all three of the stages. The first one where he's chasing down the orbs himself, and he can like torch you with his scepter, or he can like electrocute you with the scepter, or whatever the green ones do. It's pretty great. And then when he's on his Mecha Gulp, he kind like Mecha Gulp's probably the weakest of the three stages because he just becomes a bigger target. And I feel like there's not really a point. You probably could have just skipped straight to the last phase with his giant bird taking place over a pool of lava, which honestly is kind of sick. You gotta chase him down over his pool of lava where he shoots fire at you and you shoot fire at him, and it just becomes a battle. A pretty epic one, I gotta say. It's pretty epic. It is a great way to go out on, and it's definitely why Ripto is the best Spyro boss. And I guess Dragon Shores is fine. Um, Nothing too noteworthy here, just a few carnival games and the permanent Super Flame power up and the uh, clip watcher, whatever the cutscene watcher. It's fine. Yeah. There you go. This was kind of an impromptu thing. I'm kind of liking where everything is right now. Sorry if this wasn't the most interesting, but like, yeah. That's gonna do it for now. Thank you.